Hong Kong is Asia's world city. It's one of the most metropolitan places in the world. Traditionally, it has been bridging the gap between the East and the West, and has been the gateway in and out of China. Although it has been losing this status a little bit in recent years, with China opening itself up, we've seen a bit of political unrest here as well in recent months. Geographically, Hong Kong is located on the southern tip of China, next to the South China Sea. The climate is subtropical, with wet and hot summers and coolish dry winters. There's a bit of a monsoon climate here. Annual rainfall is at 2,214 millimeters per year. That is similar to Singapore, but it's less stretched out. It's mostly happening in summer, with the winters being pretty dry. Annual mean temperature is 23.5 degrees Celsius as of this decade. That is already 1.5 degrees Celsius hotter than in the late 19th century when recordings began. This increase in temperature seems to accelerate towards the second half of the 20th century and beyond. Surprisingly, Hong Kong is only a quarter developed. Usually you know the pictures of skyscrapers, but actually there's a lot of nature around here. We have almost 40% of the area are designated country parks. So you have a nice mix of city and nature sitting very close to one another. This resulted in extremely heavy urban development, making Hong Kong one of the most densely populated cities in the world. Hong Kong has 8 million people, almost 8 million people. We are here located in Mong Kok, a famous shopping area and probably the most densely populated square kilometer in the world. Hong Kong also has the largest number of skyscrapers. There's over 320 buildings that are over 150 meters high. This density again leads to a very strong urban heat island effect in summer, when the heat gets trapped in the concrete structures and gets nowhere to go. From May to September, Hong Kong is often affected by tropical storms, so-called typhoons. On average, around 15 typhoons reach Hong Kong per season. But mainly they just bring rain. Once they reach the city, they're already downgraded from a typhoon level. The Hong Kong government has a very sophisticated warning system in place. It's grading them from signal 1, 3, 5, 8 up to signal 10, super typhoon. Buildings, offices all have manuals in place on what to prepare when a typhoon hits. So usually the damage is controllable and seldom anyone in Hong Kong gets hurt. Last year though was a little bit different, 2018. We had the first ever super typhoon hitting the city. The first typhoon that reached signal 10 since the recordings began. It was Typhoon Mangkhut coming from the Philippines and hitting Hong Kong. It was really massive. 1,500 trees got uprooted, countless parks, gardens got destroyed, windows smashed, construction sites completely devastated. We are here at Big Wave Bay, a popular beach here in Hong Kong with surfers and beachgoers. Big Wave Bay used to have a beautiful tree line. When Mangkhut hit, flooding of over 3 meters completely washed the beach away. The tree line was completely devastated, all the beach buildings, everything gone. And the worst part, there was a pretty decent wave out here, very popular with surfers. But now there's only a little wake left. Everything taken away by Super Typhoon Mangkhut. Climate change is going to have a profound impact on Hong Kong and the people living here. Let's talk about temperatures first. Hong Kong has always been a fairly hot place with a huge addiction to aircon, but it's gonna get a lot hotter. Already now we're seeing the impact of global warming actually. Compared to 1960, temperatures here have been going up by 1.5 degrees compared to back then, so that's higher than the global average. We also see a strong urban heat island effect here in Hong Kong because it's so densely built. That means that the vegetation and soil is replaced by concrete, and temperatures in the urban areas are getting a lot hotter than in the rural farmland. Anybody that has been going through one of the many tunnels here that are passing through Victoria Harbour knows what I'm talking about. It can easily get 50 degrees down there. The Hong Kong Observatory predicts that the number of very hot days, those are days that are over 33 degrees, is going to go up to 2020 by the end of the century. Probably something like 15 by 2050. Very hot days means that no exhaustive activity outdoors is recommended. People are recommended to stay indoors. Same goes for the number of hot nights. It's also gonna increase fourfold. It's predicted to increase fourfold by the end of the century, probably to something like 20 hot nights by 2050. Same goes for cold days. Cold day in Hong Kong counts as a 12 degree or less day, of which we still had roughly 11 by 2005. It's supposed to go below 5 days in 2050, and probably no more cold days by the end of the century as well. The annual mean temperature, which by 1990 was still 23 degrees, is going to go up significantly as well. By 2050, the Hong Kong Observatory predicts a temperature increase to 25.5 annual mean temperature. And by the end of the century, we probably reach 27.8 degrees, so it's going to be pretty hot. And that's all under moderate assumptions. That means heat-related death, that's also in accordance with the IPCC predictions, are going to go up a lot. We also have a risk of a potential malaria epidemic here in Hong Kong, which up to now we haven't seen yet. What is the annual rainfall going to look like in Hong Kong by 2050? The Hong Kong Observatory has noted that after World War II, each decade saw an increase in rainfall of 50 millimeters. If this trend continues, we will have 150 millimeter more of annual rain by 2050. Heavy rain can lead to excess runoff. And there's an increased risk of landslides, and it may pose a risk to infrastructure and cause severe disruptions. What can we expect in terms of extreme weather events and natural disasters in Hong Kong by 2050? Well, the National Assessment Report on Climate Change in China mentions that by 2050 there will be many more natural disasters, many more extreme weather events hitting the mainland. However, for Hong Kong, the question is not finally answered yet. In fact, the Hong Kong Observatory even states that the number of extreme typhoons might even go down. This is what we've been witnessing since the 1960s, because the average number of typhoon signal 3 and over has been going down from 3, average 3 per year, down to 2.5 per year as of now. In 2019, so far, we only had one heavier typhoon this year. Let's see. This might be related to the more frequent occurrence of El Nino phenomena since the 1980s, because in El Nino years usually there's less typhoons hitting Hong Kong and the region. Rising sea levels. Sea levels have been measured in Hong Kong since 1954, shortly after the end of World War II. It has been noticed that there was an annual rise of 2.6 millimeters per year. The measurement station is at Victoria Harbour. This is somewhat more than the IPCC average of 1.8 millimeters per year. If this rise in sea level continues, then low-lying areas like this fishing village over there, Le Yu Mun, which is a popular tourist spot, will probably have to move. Hong Kong is somehow fortunate because a lot of the coastal area is cliffed, so it's lying higher up. On the other hand, there's still a few wetlands left, which have a high ecological value for the city. Those wetlands are greatly affected by rising sea levels. So by 2050, if it continues as it goes, then those wetlands will probably be greatly compressed or even have disappeared.